Good.
And Madam President, kick it off.
Welcome everybody to another fun session, another fun meeting of Rotary Bingo. As I was saying, not only is this Rotary Bingo, this is Rotary Community Service Bingo with a special bingo card. We'll explain how all that works, and then we're going to go into small groups and talk about community service and get everybody fired up to be doing community service in your community. What's so extraordinary about this club is when we unleash ourselves around the world, community service is done everywhere, on every continent, in so many countries. It's not just one place. We have a real opportunity for change. With that said, I'll be back to you in a minute and take it away. Whoa, Rotary bell, hold on.
Boom, boom.
Sec.
Oh,
Yay.
Take it away, Rudy.
thanks, Lisa. Karen's over next to me here. Carol, great to see you. And Dee, great to see you back with us, young man, and glad you were honored at the activity with the new Arch Clump Society members with Peggy up in Evanston. So congratulations. David, always great to see you. Second time today. Peggy,
Yes.
great to see you. And John Dar, good to see you. He was at a board meeting last night, and what's really exciting, you probably knew that we had a meeting a while back with Jeff Kreider and Inez Allen from our district talking about their work with IMA Helps, International Medical Alliance, and their work down in Ecuador, and a young girl who was missing an arm. And John Dar, with his work with the students with robotics, challenged them to make a prosthetic working arm or robotic arm, and they made 3. And this week, Jeff Kreider visited John Dar, picked up those 3, and will be delivering those Friday to this young girl down in Ecuador.
Oh.
And so, amazing work, changing that young girl's life. John Dar, you're amazing in your work. Keep it up. Good stuff.
Yay.
And
Life-changing, yay.
absolutely. Bob McKechnie, good to see you, sir. And Bob, put your email address in the chat box, please. And please reach out to Bob, his group working with World Beyond War. They have a speaker coming up Thursday night at 7 o'clock online from Braver Angels. That's a group that's in the United States is trying to heal both sides of the political extremes here, bringing them together. So Bob, reach out to Bob and he'll get you the link to that meeting. Sally, great to see you. How are things with you?
Ohio next week.
You're in Ohio? Yeah, great to see you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Super. And Dennis, we haven't seen you since last night. David Churchman, how are you, sir?
Everything nice and routine.
All right, cool. Peter, how are things down in San Diego?
Very nice. Thank you.
Bill Timpson, how are you, sir? All is good. Peace, buddy. Anya, we missed you on our meeting today with St. Petersburg.
I know, I couldn't do it. I have, yes. I usually like those connections. I really like, that helps me kind of to understand what's going on, back in Russia a little bit.
Yeah. They asked about Sharon, and I told them that she was improving. So, but I'll let her know they were thinking about her when you talked to her.
I'll let her know too, because I got in touch. I haven't heard from her in a while, so I wrote to her and she got back to me. So I'll let her know too.
Okay, great. I had an email this week, earlier in the week here. Tezekiah, how are you?
I am good. Thank you for asking. It's good to be here.
Great. Warren, how is everything?
It's great up here. We're about to get some rain. We're
Oh,
about to
good.
get some rain.
Yeah, send some more
All
south.
right.
Yeah, definitely send some our
Yeah.
way.
Marilyn, great to have you with us back on here. Got your calendar filled up already?
Yep, sure did. Filled it out today, thanks to the Rotary.
Devin, how are you?
Thrilled to be here.
Super. Jack is going to be making us more community
MC
minded
for later
today. So
tonight.
it's good, good stuff. Mark, how are things? Shalom, buddy. How are things in Israel?
Shalom, Boker Tov. Good morning. It's a nice, pleasant morning here, and looking forward to the meeting.
Okay, super. Ray, good to see you. Arthur, how are things with you?
Very, very good down here in Baja, and exciting things we're working on with South Africa. People wanted to show our film on TV there, and working with, we've been having lots of Zoom calls with South Africa and WhatsApp calls, and everything coming together pretty terrifically. And
Cool.
some great community things here to talk about later.
All right. Dominique, how are you?
I am alive.
Are you
and
staying
well.
safe down there?
Oh,
I don't know. Every day is a good day.
Okay.
We
Well,
cannot do much because the country is locked in. There is no gas.
right.
Nobody can go anywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, our thoughts are with you
Thank
down
you
there.
for asking.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Stay safe,
Thank
young lady.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have food and water?
You me?
Yeah, you
We
have.
we have water now. Or they are given some days in, and we were able to get water. I do have a lot of gallons right there because I have 2 handicaps in the house,
Wow.
and people are getting water now.
Yeah, for
although
those of the
it's
rest of you that
scarce.
don't know, Dominique is down in Haiti. And
Yes.
we know how Haiti is right now, and the gangs have taken over, and it's not a safe place to be. So please keep her in your thoughts and prayers.
Thank you for your prayers. Thank you.
will.
Thank you.
And yeah, how are you?
Doing great.
Good to hear from you. And I'm not sure I missed anybody. I think we got everybody here. So great to see everybody. And I'll turn it back over to Lisa.
Yes, we have a special evening as described. Tonight is bingo. For those of you who've joined us before, you know what you're in for. And for those of you who haven't, it is a special treat. We have interactive bingo. We'll be downloading the bingo cards and doing Rotary Bingo on the screen. We have special rules, and there is the honor code associated with Rotary Bingo. So right now, I'm going to, first of all, share my screen. And then, and this is community service bingo, which is important to know because it's a little bit different. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a link in the chat. And if you're able to download this form, and the reason you download this form is it'll show up on your screen, and then I'll show you that when we pick a number, then you'll click on the card that you have on your screen at home, and it will light up. And so then you'll know that you have that Rotary number, that bingo number. So I just put this in the chat, right? Everybody click on that if you can. I'm going to share my screen. If not, you can keep track manually in another way. And so let me share my screen. I'll show you what the card looks like. The card looks like this, right? Our E-Club Bingo, Community Service Bingo card. Yay! All right, so now I'm going to make it a little bit smaller here. Let me see if I can do that. Where is that? You guys can see? Oh, here we go, down here. Okay. All right, so now we have the full bingo on the screen. So when I call a number like 18, I'm going to randomly do that with the random number picker. You click on 18 on your card.
Oh, there.
There you go. You click on 18 on your card. Now, you don't just get 18. Read the question. You have to get 18 and you called or emailed another member of the Rotary Club. Right? And so number 2, if I call number 2, you have to have both number 2 and you donated to your local food bank this month. See, it's a little complex. It's not as easy as you would think. And the reason is that we want to promote community service. So you have done these projects. There is a special, opportunity. That's right, a special opportunity. And that is if we call out the number 88, join the community service committee this year, and you have not done so, you can click on 88 and you can join after this meeting. See, so you get a free one, and everybody gets a free one in the middle. Now, of course, we have, you know, diagonal and across and down. So that is Rotary Bingo. And so I'm going to show you right now the our wonderful picker, which is our random number picker, crazy rotary wheel we have developed just for us, right? And so let me do one more thing. I'm going to share with sound so you can hear all the cheers for when we get something right. All right, so now we're going to go through and everybody download your card. If not, you can keep track on your own, right, if you did one. And I'll be calling out both the name and the both the number and the service project if you get that number. So that's very important. Okay, ready? Everybody ready?
No, I don't know.
Here we go. Here we go, and we're going to call out number, which one is it? Number 11, we have a winner. Yay!
I have a winner too.
So if
I
you have number 11 on your card,
Yes.
right, you need to, you can select number 11, but you have to have participated in a service project in the past 3 months as well. Both of them have to apply. That's
Okay.
why it's difficult. Next
Well, I've been
number,
working on the-
ready? Okay, next number, Carol. So now we're gonna go. Next number until someone gets bingo. Ready? The next number is 18. We have a winner. All right, 18. Have you called or emailed another member of the Rotary Club? Right?
Yes.
So you have to have an 18 and have done that. Ready? We're going to go again. Remember, it's across or down or diagonal, and the middle one is free. Ready? We're going to pick number 27. We have a winner. All right, 27. Have you invited a friend to a Rotary meeting this year? Very
Yes.
important. All right.
Yes.
We're getting closer. We're getting closer to Rotary. We're getting close. Rotary Bingo, community service Rotary Bingo. Ready? The next number is, we have a winner, 38. All right, 38. Have you reached out to someone who is homebound to help them get around this month? Now there, right? And again, we're on the honor system. You can't just say that if you haven't done it. Ready? I'm
did.
sure we're getting close to bingo for somebody. Ready? Number 40. We have a winner. All right, number 40 is, have you asked a question or made a comment to a club speaker? Right, very important.
Yes.
Next. All right. And the winner is 5. We have a winner. Have you donated to your local food bank this month? Very important. How close are we getting to bingo? Next number. What is it? 24. We have a winner. Did you begin a new service project since September 1st? Very important, right? Okay, click that. You can click 24 if you've done that, but you have to have done both. Ready? $74. We have a winner. Let's see, 74. Have you invited a friend to a Rotary meeting this year?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Next number. All right. Well, just put it on your card. Just remember your card. Ready? And the winner is number 36. We have a winner. Have you begun a service project since September 21st, 2022? All right. Next number. Someone must be getting close. I want to hear bingo. And then we'll move on to our community service small groups. Ready? 12. We have a winner. Have you reached out to someone who was ill to help them this month? All right, these are all community service things we should be thinking about. Ready? And the winner is 88. Now that's a free one. Have you joined the community service committee this year? Now, if you promise to join in your heart, you can click 88, even if you're not a member right now. Ready? You must be getting close to bingo. And number 1, we have a winner. Have you participated in a service project in the past 3 months? Click number 1 if you have done that. Ready?
Sure.
We're running out of numbers, folks. Someone must be close to bingo. 17, we have a winner, right? Number 17 is, have you helped a person in need in your community this month?
Yeah.
All right.
Bingo.
Who has bingo?
I have bingo also.
You do? Okay, good. We can have more than one winner. All right. 64 is the last number, if anybody has that.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to remove 64, and we already have bingo 64. If you called or emailed another member of the club. All right. So who has bingo?
Gail.
Yale. All right. Who else? Raise your hand or put your little emoji hand up. We want to make sure we
I
recognize
think it was
you.
Devin.
Devin?
Was that you, right? Okay.
It was me.
Yeah,
Yep.
good.
Okay, Devin. Awesome. Who else? Anybody
Yeah,
else?
Yeah, Yale
And
was the
Yale,
other one.
Devin and Yale. All right, you guys, you are the community service mavens, because that was
All
a
right.
toughie. We had to make it a little more tough than last time, because we had a lot of winners at the same time because it was too easy. All right, we will send you prizes. I'm going to put the prize form in the chat, and you guys can pick your prizes from a Christmas ornament, a Rotary emblem, a baseball cap, or I think that's it. Those 3 things: Rotary emblem, Christmas ornament, and baseball cap. I'll put that in the chat. Now we are going to go into our small group. How fun was that? So going into our small groups, I'll let Jack talk a little bit about the community service question and what's about to happen next. And Rudy, if you would, when we're done, just whisk everybody away into Jack, is it 5 rooms?
Yeah, 5.
5 rooms. So we are randomly in 5 rooms, Rudy. Now, if
Okay.
you're a member of the community service committee and you get whisked away to a room, which you will, come back out to the main room if you want to be reassigned, because we would like a community service committee member, 1 in each room. It's not necessary, but if you can figure out how to get out of your room and come back to this main room, all you have to do is leave your room, then we will reassign you in a way that makes sense for the community service committee. So Jack, take it away, talk
Okay,
a little
thank
bit
you,
about it,
Lisa.
and then we will be whisked away.
That was a great, game you set up. But those are wonderful options. As all you know, Rotary, is primarily a service organization, and community services is one of the avenues of service. And we have our committee, which consists of Anya Kroc, Dennis Wong, Ray Naylor, and Yale Jones, and myself. We thought it'd be important as a community services committee to try to encourage as many members as possible to get involved in community service or activities. I suspect all of you are. And 2, to find out what each other are doing with respect to community service, to form a network, because somebody might be an organization that might be of interest to you, or vice versa, or you might want to talk to somebody who's doing something similar to learn from them what they're doing that you might bring to your organization. So in our breakout groups, we want you to address the following 3 questions. 1, which organizations are you involved with and why? 2, what problem are you trying to solve or cause you're trying to advance? And 3, is there any public policy at the local, state, or federal level that, if passed, would help alleviate the problem that your organization is trying to address or advance the cause your organization is trying to address? So, for example, one of the organizations I'm involved with, 2 of them, are related to food insecurity. One is called Feeding America, which is a national group that provide services to local food banks. And I'm also involved with our county food bank in terms of donating, and I do advocacy for both groups. And obviously the problem they're trying to solve is the growing percentage of populations at all local levels that are experiencing food insecurity or outright hunger, especially among young children, which has devastating effects over time. And a policy solution is that in the proposed 2023 federal budget, the food banks have been advocating for that to include $100 million for the emergency food assistance program that would help offset some of the increased costs from inflation of acquiring food and distributing food. And so the food banks, food kitchens, et cetera, at all levels have lobbied very hard to have that passed. And so right now it's in there, but it needs to get passed, it's part of the budget. So that's an example of, organization I'm involved in, why I'm involved in it is obvious. And a major problem they're facing is more demand and less money because of inflation, and more people needing food assistance for everything you need. And they gave a policy change that, if happened, would go a long way to helping their efforts. So this is what I'd like you to discuss in your groups. Each of our committee members are going to take notes, and when we all come back, they'll report out what they've learned from the conversations. And sure, the conversations will go whatever way they're going to go, and that's just fine. So that's what we're doing, Lisa. So put us in our groups.
Awesome. Let's go away like Dorothy to Oz. Here we go. Everybody join, or not join if you want to stay in the main room. All right, Rudy, I'm going to jump into a room.
Okay,
Are we all set?
we're all set.
I'll jump into room 4, which is a small room.
Okay. What? He's gonna mute himself.
Oh, there we go. And Rudy.
Hi,
Okay.
Rudy.
Hey.
Okay. I guess before we start, maybe just I'll take the name and where are you from, or where you living? Peter? I think San Diego.
San Diego for me, yes.
Okay, San Diego.
We have a different picture in the background right now, as a matter of fact, than you do.
Okay. I know David is Ashland.
Yep, Ashland, Oregon.
Rudy is Crestline in California. And John Dar is
Cleveland.
He's
Say it again.
wiping his
Ohio.
tears away tonight because the Yankees won.
Yeah, that's right. Moving on. What priorities? So, okay, and I'm in Connecticut. So actually, it's interesting. We're in 5 different states. And doing different things. So thing is, I think what they said was, Peter, what, as far as community service, any particular organization that you're tied with as far as on the community service side?
Well, I participate also in the RB Rancho Bernardo Sunrise Club as an honorary member, and every year they do a house build in Tijuana. So that's coming up in a little over a month. It is an extraordinary day that I try to participate in each year, and with an organization called Something Mercy that provides all the materials, takes about $6,000 of materials and a foundation, and with about 20 people, you can come and build this very nice 20 by 20 small frame house, painted, doesn't have plumbing directly, doesn't have electricity, but they can put solar on it. And you do that in a day. That's December 3rd. So that's the big one that I do every year. My other work, my life is around climate change and sustainability, so I do that all the time.
I'm listed as sort of like housing in a way. Yeah,
it is.
Okay, David. And
so I'm in Ashland. Yeah, so Ashland, Oregon. So I'm involved with a number of entities, and particularly with the Ashland Cultural Peace Commission and so on. But I would say if we're going to focus in on something, I've been very involved with our organization. It's called OHRA. It's OHRA, which stands for Options for Helping Residents of Ashland. Options for Helping Residents of Ashland. And fundamentally, we've been working diligently with the community in housing for, we talk about unhoused people, for the people who've been homeless but who've been long-term. But it's a wraparound program where it's not only giving housing, but it's giving full services to get people the documents organized, finding work, finding other places to live, having just a full service for people who are in need of that level of they can't get it themselves. So that's, I'm on the board of advisors, and I did a lot of work with that.
okay, great, thank you. John Dar, Cleveland.
Hey, been working on a variety of different projects, but at the moment I'm really actively involved with the FIRST robotics competition and the community service aspect of that program. We always like to say that FIRST is more than robots. And this year, our students have taken on this project of creating the prosthetic limbs for children.
Okay, okay, that's very good. Or like in the area of education, I'm going to put it down in a sense.
In education, but I'm also very interested and active in community health outreach, specifically as it works with commercial sex workers.
Say it again. What was the last part?
Commercial sex workers. So providing hygiene kits, resources that they wouldn't ordinarily have, even anonymous HIV and STD testing.
Okay, that's great. Okay, Rudy Crestline.
I think Dennis, the biggest one that actually got us in Rotary was an organization that was, mute yourself, was originally called Christmas in April, where the basically started with contractors up here that helped fix up homes for seniors and those in need to keep them warm, safe, and dry. And so now it's part of Rebuilding Together Mountain Communities. So it's a national organization, and so every April, Karen and I have been volunteer coordinators on a home where we get 20 or 30 people working on a home to clean it up and fix it up and work with contractors and all that kind of stuff. So that's actually what got us into Rotary. And then also every spring, we put on a six to 8 classes for our continuation high school students to teach them about career paths, interview skills, how to shake a hand and look at people in the eye. And we bring in community leaders, and we do mock interviews with them. And it's amazing change in those kids to give them a chance to change their lives and actually get a career, because if not, they're going to end up in the system. So.
Great.
Okay, yeah, from New Mexico, right?
Yes, sir. Taos, New Mexico. I came back because I couldn't get reassigned. Let's see. Food.
Well, you're welcome here. Nobody wants you, but you're welcome. And that's part of our community service.
Thank you,
we
Dennis.
take anybody.
You're nice to an old man. Let's see, what Jack said at the beginning about food is, that rings every bell with me. I volunteer every other week at a food pantry at the Methodist Church. I support them financially. My wife and I support the Santa Fe Food Pantry, which provides food to many communities in northern New Mexico. I'm a big brother through Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Mountain Region, which is basically most of the state. And I mentored for 13 years, I mentored a young man as a big brother who's now actually 21 and working for a credit union in Albuquerque, but I still see him regularly. And then the other thing that my wife and I do is we support an organization here called Bridges, which helps high school seniors make the transition to either college or vocational education, and such as that. And we are also founders and supporters of a scholarship fund here in Taos. So that's us.
Okay. Dennis Wong, Westport, Connecticut, Southport, Connecticut, and basically in community service, I'm involved with, again, like most people, food pantry. There was a problem with food, even in a sort of an upper middle class neighborhood in Westport. But adjacent to us is Bridgeport, which is where there's more inner city type things. So we do education with students, and we've adopted one of the schools and provided them with everything from libraries to materials, and also sending students to various programs like RILA and other things that gets them outside of their city and to meet other people as far as broaden their involvement with others. So that's what I'm been involved in. One of the things that I think maybe we'll just go around too, and before we do a sort of like a general, ask what type of support that you may be looking from the club. I mean, sometimes you may not, but maybe you'll like to. And also the last question you can think about is, what can we do together as a club? And even though I think, which is interesting, the fact that, again, we have 6 people from 6 different locations, 6 different states. And I think that's also the challenge of e-clubs, is how do you get people on a particular area or project working together. So I'll just go around again. Peter, you want to start off? Thoughts?
The support that I need. Boy, I work on a global scale, wanting to shift the climate agenda, really, especially between the U.S. and China. So that's it's been working on it for decades. And how do you change, government direction? And the truth is that's happening underneath the existing conversation. And I wish I knew how to do it faster, but that's the focus of our work. Is if you want to tackle climate change and really sustainability, the U.S. and China have to do it together. So those are my target audiences, and both have enormous challenges. What could this club do? I guess I don't know right now. I'm still developing the Sim Center, which is an immersive visualization place, and looking for the optimal venue for that next location. We've sort of been quiet since COVID, so that's an activity I did a presentation on many months ago, but we're wanting to reestablish that high-tech visualization center so we can visualize problems and solutions and make smarter decisions quicker at the global and the local level.
Thank you, David.
Come back to me. I'll pass for the moment.
John Dar?
I'm not sure. I'm still new to Rotary. This is still my first year involved with Rotary. Quite frankly, I'm looking to learn from each one of you. You guys have been doing this for years, and you know how to channel resources. You know how to partner with existing programs to get more bang for the buck, so to speak. And I'm hoping to learn that from each one of you. I suppose that's what I'm looking for more than anything with the club. I got involved with Rotary because I'm interested in polio eradication, but beyond that, I just want to do community service. And this is an organization that does that. So I'm hoping to learn how to do more of it, how to think bigger, and how to involve more people in what it is that I do.
Very good, John Dar. Rudy?
Yeah, and to tag on John Dar, with the work you want to do in Ecuador, please, we'll connect offline here. I'll get you connected with the Rotary District down there. And I think that'll give you a little more leverage in that area, and perhaps even the Rotary National Director from that area. They'd be very interested in what you're doing down there. For the work we're doing here locally, I just from our club side, I just would like, as several members do, sort of like Marilyn King with her training she does with students on how to achieve higher with Olympian thinking. The thing we do with career building is how can we reapply that in your local schools for your continuation school students. And perhaps part of that's on me to share that curriculum out there, that you might connect with your local high school to see how you might help each of us have been successful in our careers. Now, how do we share that to help other kids that need our help out there with some, basic skills? I mean, kids, certainly with COVID, we quit shaking hands, but we're back into shaking hands again. But how do you stand up, shake hands, look a person in the eye, repeat their name, make sure, all those connections are important. And then we use the community leaders to actually interview them. They get 3 interviews with different community leaders, and then the kids introduce themselves, and then the community members, business leaders introduce themselves. You have a bank president and, a variety of different jobs in there, and they go like, wow, these people came out for me. And so the kids, it really changed their life. So I think reapplying some of the things that we do individually here in our local communities out, across our 90 some communities would be powerful.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Well, on food, I think we've covered it. On mentoring, I would love to see every member of our club who's physically able to mentor one young person. And then maybe once every 4 months or once every 6 months, we could talk about how it's going. What are the challenges? What are the needs? How can we meet those needs? What needs can't we meet? And so forth. So that's one idea I have. And that would connect our community service within our club. The other thing I wanted to say to Peter is, like you, I am a little bit obsessed with the future of the planet. And my wife and I have been big supporters of the Woodwell Climate Research Center, which is doing brilliant work in climate research. And in the last 4 or 5 years, they've become better and better at spreading the word in Congress, in the media, in the press, about what is needed and what are the challenges we face. And I know I'm a member of SRAG. No, what's it called? The Environmental Sustainability Action Group.
SRAG, yes.
SRAG, and that's a very good group, but their meetings are very sophisticated. And I would love to see more talk about what can a person who is, in the liberal arts and the humanities or practicing law as I did all my life do, besides support good things and try to cut down our own spoliation of the planet, right? So those are my interests.
Thank you, Yale. David, back to you.
Yeah, what comes to mind is for the Rotary year, every quarter, to draw a name of someone from our club and the project that they choose to be engaged in and support in every way that we can. And it'd just be a random selection, but then it would really be a thoughtful suggestion. So we change it every quarter and really dive deeply into someone's project that would make sense for our club.
Okay. I think in my case, wearing a couple hats, I think I'd like to see us incorporate the diversity, equity, inclusion into our thinking. And one of the things that especially
you froze.
As far as, more tolerance and things. So, and included that, and one of the things that I firmly believe in, we're Rotarians, and in the community and in the world that we embrace the Rotarian Code of Conduct at the 4-way test and lead by example. And I think that we can do every day is lead by example within our community and also show us to be Rotarian. And I think being Rotarian, people recognize what we stand for, our values and principles, and that we act on it. I think it'll also, again, improve our image, our brand, and also might also attract people to want to be interested in possibly knowing more about Rotary. So that's kind of like my kind of view of Rotarian service. I'm going to just take my, I guess, privilege as a moderator on this. I think, Peter, I'm also interested in what you're doing. I think, and also Yale, which is, the bigger about environment and which really leads to world peace and things, is that having a way to engage more of our members. Because I think there's a lot of talent among the 99 members that we have. And I don't think we've really tapped people's talents. I don't think we necessarily tapped in kind of like the push the right buttons to find out, where their passion might lie. And that fits in with what we're doing, what you're doing. And so I think that's one of the things that we might think about. I think, again, Peter, I think, we're kind of like away, 2,500 to 3,000 miles away, but I was interested in what you were doing. But I, just sort of like trying to connect and trying to get more synergies or discussion as far as what you're doing and what I'm thinking about. So just kind of think about a way of how to, engage the membership. And so that's kind of a thought that I had. And also, John Dart, one of the things that you're new, and Rudy and I have been around. And one of the things that in the town I'm in, I know we had a grant, district managed grant, and supported and provided money to the local robotics team here. So if it's one of the things that's money, because obviously we can't give you too many human resources, but surely there's a possibility of trying to figure out how to do a grant to improve or expand on your robotics program. That's one thing that what the club can do. And so, and then it goes back to, what David is really what we're talking about is how do we get members to kind of like stand up and talk about community service, and then trying to figure out within our membership how to best support them. And And Rudy, you've been around for a while and the district governor and things, and maybe you got some thoughts about what's been said so far.
Yeah, no, I think we're on the right track, and Dennis, you touched on some good points there. And so we've got certainly,
And what sounded.
and in our club, if there's things you want to bring to our board meetings, we meet once a month in the board. If there's things you want to bring there that you need help with, financial support, more muscle behind it, please bring that to us so we can do that. For instance, Yale and I are working together on potentially a project with Peace Fellows from Duke UNC graduates, and the board last night approved us to go forward to develop that program, Yale. So that
Great.
got approved. So
Yes.
that's one of the things. And we're talking about our connections with Rotary and the Peace Corps and how our club might support Peace Corps members in the field when they're deployed. And so that'll be further discussion. Those kind of things. And we did a global grant this past year for Vision Centers with Mark Zober over in India. And you probably saw that in the mid-month newsletter, some photos from that. That I sent out, and our club agreed to partner again with them with Mark's leadership in that area for detecting cataracts and a variety of things, and then eyesight and glasses and a variety of those things. So there's things we can do as a group, but we need to know what you need because we have resources in here to help. And I can connect with many here and figure out how we get you help out there and wherever you are, and including, you're in different parts of the country here in the world, but Rotary is around the globe. And so we have connections, and I have connections around the globe here. Anyways, we're getting called back to the home base here, but we'll see you back home.
I wanted to say, when you read the bios of the people in our club, there's a lot of focus on the United Nations, satellite groups, and so forth. I'd like to see more discussion of the fact that every community service project helps build peace. And I think we need to keep that in mind.
Right.
Peter, quickly, Peter.
Real quickly, I wanted to be less random about it, David, if we're going to meet on specific things. Maybe for the clubs, so many people are involved in their specific projects, but I think some would be more than happy to join and partner. So if I had 2 or 3 people that within the club that said, boy, I want to work on that with you, or whatever housing project or whatever the project is, that would be incredibly helpful.
Good idea, yes.
Minutes? Is Rudy back with us?
They're all back.
I think so.
We lost Rudy and Oz.
No, I'm here.
I hear his voice.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, there he
Rudy,
is.
maybe you want to go through the groups and call on people and have people share.
All righty, be glad to do that.
Awesome.
Let's start with Devin. You're fairly new to our team here.
I am. In our group, we kind of tentatively decided to give brief reports on our own things. And so I'm involved in helping people raise capital to do good stuff. And by and large, I do that as a journalist, as an advocate, and don't make money directly from that. Chip, who's a member of the club, Chip House, who had surgery, or I'm sure he'd be here today, is a member of our Impact Cherub Club, but I'm also the president of the Crowdfunding Professional Association and a member of the National Coalition for Community Capital, all these organizations working to help people who are underserved raise capital and do good things. So it fits nicely in a way with the mission of Rotary and the objectives of peace. Okay, I'll shut up.
Hey, Devin, I have a question.
Mhm.
What are they, give us an example of a kind of project that when they're raising funds, what they do with it.
Yeah, so we got talking about that a little bit in our little group, and we were talking about John Dar and his great work, and so I'll just share a link in the chat. A company that we looked at just today in our club is one that is building affordable prosthetics for folks in the developing world. They're using 3D printers and other technology to build functioning, great, high-tech prosthetics that people can afford in places like Vietnam and Africa. So that's an
Thank you.
example.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Hezekiah, over your group, what did you talk about?
Well, I'd like to turn it over to Sala to kind of report on behalf of the whole group, or I think we might be going on for way too long. So Sala kind of got dumped with the facilitation role. Do you want to speak? Do you want to speak for us, Sala?
Well, I can't really speak for you except to say that we're all working in a lot of places, and a lot of us are actually working internationally. So our community is international. I work in both international and in my community. And we're all working on teaching people peacekeeping skills, really, meeting needs, but also teaching people peacekeeping skills. And I didn't know I was supposed to summarize this, so others please chime in.
That's good. That's good. Dee Boswell, in your group, what did you speak about?
Oh, I was interested in what Devin had to say about funding for raising funds for prosthetics. I think that he needs to get in touch with John Dar, and John Dar could pick his brain a lot, I think.
Sounds like a good mix there. Warren Banks, were you in a different group?
Yeah, I wasn't the note taker. Where is
Yeah.
he?
Here I am. I have notes.
Oh, there you are.
There you go,
There I am.
Bill.
All right.
Go ahead, Bill.
Marilyn King is doing work at a freeway entrance. The city is lax in cleaning up, and they're initiating change, hoping for a change at the elections, and then working with neighbors. This was interesting. I hadn't heard this before. Inviting neighbors over and have everyone come with the intent of educating others. So that seemed like a very cool way to approach elections. Warren Banks has got some work going on helping hands, delivering food, clothing, toys, especially at Christmas, and working on homeless issues with the church. Carol Crickman, of course, has been teaching peace to the world. She's got 44 films worldwide. Individuals putting those up.
4,500.
4,500 films, a little different than 44. Okay. But it's a scary time, and she's hearing conversations at the UN, and hopefully her films will break through that. Bob McKechnie, is that right? Is using a City of Peace, where he is, has submitted an application that's been accepted. There's buy-in from the city. He started a meditation practice as a way to develop inner peace, working on billboard, no war on the streets of Cathedral City, and then doing work on world peace. And it's not religious. And he's also wanting to hopefully change the military strategies around that. Bob Reed is connecting with international and using Peace Fellows. So a lot of us may know those folks, and his people are busy getting them connected in projects all over the world. So it's sort of local in terms of the Peace Fellows, but they're going out into the world. And then we got a call in from Ya, who lives in Virginia, works in DC with the homeless and bringing food in. And then I mentioned, I put out my email in the chat. I've got two projects going. One is restorative justice. has been very successful in Fort Collins as an alternative to the courts. And it's all citizen initiated, and I can post, if someone's interested, email me and I'll send you a copy of a chapter I wrote. And then some time ago, I wrote this book, Teaching and Learning Peace. And I'm happy to send you the ebook. There's no cost. And if you can
Thank
use
you.
it, that'd be great. You know, maybe even you could ask for donations if you put it out on your local club list. So that's what we're doing.
Our website.
Yeah, super.
Yeah.
Dennis, in our group, what was shared?
Yes, we had 6 people from 6 different states, trying to figure out how our club can support 6 different places, and at the same time maybe have something that brought together. Most of the things are focused on poverty in a way, housing, food, and education that we had basically in common. 2 thoughts came up, which I thought was interesting that we all could do. It could be a club project, is mentoring young people. That if everybody in our club mentored one person or more, that would be kind of like something that we can join together. The other thing is we talked about the support, and I'm glad that when people heard about John Dar, they raised their hand and said, I think I can help you. And one of the things, it's getting information and notice about what people are doing. And so people can raise their hand and say, what you're doing is very interesting. I think I can provide you with some support, either money, talent, whatever it is. So I think there's a thing that putting together, and I think this is what we try to do here and spread it out, where we have 99 members, and 99 members can put down kind of like what their 1 or 2 key things that they're working on, and possibly being open to engaging other members to get involved and provide some support, whatever they can. So I think this is the thing, that's a challenge about e-clubs, hybrid clubs, is that we don't meet, we don't get together. We are multi-communities. And so, but that's also the opportunity as far as doing more in more places. So I thought it was a very useful conversation, and I think it's just a start of some ideas that we can move ahead on.
We would like, we discussed, in fact, last night in the board meeting about developing a kind of a spreadsheet of the work that each of our members are doing and other nonprofits they're involved in. And if you would email me, each of you here, and we'll get this out to Jack's going to develop a letter. We're out to all club members, and we're going to get a list of who's involved in what, and then share that with each of you to see if you have interest in those areas. You can connect together. It'll help expand our reach and that impact. So we're kind of building off exactly what was discussed tonight. Jack?
Yeah, I was going to mention that's what we discussed last night, and this conversation, just the few minutes we've had reinforced the value of doing that. So I'll work with Rudy. We'll get something out right away to just generate, who's doing what, and ask them. In that way, we can all contact each other and just add it up in terms of what our club is doing, which is,
right.
Just from the breakout groups, is phenomenal work and stuff in our group. I learned about efforts that people are involved in that I didn't even know existed. So it's been really a fruitful conversation. And Lisa, I want to thank you for helping organize this. It's been very, very succeeded my expectations.
Yes, Lisa. Yay.
Very dynamic.
Nothing like engagement coming together. Thank you,
Yes.
Jack. Thanks for all your hard work.
Yeah, I did that. And also each of our committee members took notes, and I'll see if there's enough there to summarize and send it out to everybody. Just so we have a record of what we talked about tonight, in a succinct format. So that helped because not everybody had a chance to talk about what their groups talked about. So thank you. I'll turn it back to you, Rudy.
And I think I'll pass it back to Lisa. Um,
Passing the buck, huh?
Yeah, we're at the end of the hour here, but this has been a great discussion tonight, and I hope everybody learned a little more about each of our members in your groups, because it's very important as we connect, and that's a great connection.
Oh, I think it was
There's
wonderful.
one special request, and that is Arthur does have a community service related project he wanted to share with us that he wanted to put in chat. He put in chat in ours. Arthur, you have 1 minute. I know that's a challenge for
Well,
you,
just
buddy, but you can go ahead.
Our heroic neighbor who has done so much for the community rushed in to rescue a woman who was drowning, saved her life, but lost his own. It was tragic. And his Mexican wife, Norma, is trying to carry on his service to the community, which includes running a gym to keep us healthy, running a organic market, doing beach cleanup 7 a.m. Sunday morning. And because she's not allowed to go to the States and can't access his accounts, we need to raise money for her for now. And there is a GoFundMe I put in there where we can help her out because it could take years for the legal processes to be able to help her. So it's to carry on to help a true hero who's my neighbor in the house I'm looking at right now. So carry on.
It's a wonderful story,
And-
tragic
and
but
quick-
wonderful. If you want to
and a
contribute to
quick thank
GoFundMe, click on Arthur's link.
And a quick thank you for the incredible hat that you gave me, which came on our anniversary and meant so much for my wife and I. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank
Well, you
you.
can't win if you don't play, and also you can't get your prize if you don't tell me your address, and you know who you are out there. So if you won a prize and you haven't filled out the form, go ahead and send me an email or fill out the Google form on the next meeting. Rudy, I think we're all set. What a wonderful night.
Very good.
Thank you. It's
Thanks,
great.
everyone.
See you all same bat time, bat channel next week.
All
And shalom from Israel.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey,
Good night.
Bye.
Shalom from Israel. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Around the town.
Bye.
Almost everybody's left, Sheva.
Yeah.
Unmute yourself there.
Yeah, no, I'm trying.
There
There
you
we
go.
go. Yeah, Karen and Dominique, it does
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to leave. Mm. Hi, Gary.
Yeah, Sheva wanted to talk to me here, so wait.
And
Nice to see you all.
nice to see you. I invited Hezekiah to stay because she's involved as well.
Oh, okay, good.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, so there was quite a conflict that arose in a room and some verbal violence.